All right. We're so excited. So excited to have
Happy
you on
December.
board with us. It is Wisdom Wednesdays, and we're so excited to have you on board with us. It's Let's Talk Real Estate with my lovely wife,
Hello.
Mrs. Santa, right here, Maria, and Santa Claus, and Mrs. Claus, that's right, and Santa Claus, Robert McCarter, your local real estate agents right here in the Baltimore metro area. And we're so excited to have you with Remax Components, Maryland Homes team. And we want to just congratulate you. You could be anywhere tonight. You could be shopping. You could be doing all kinds of things. But you decided to join us this evening for a fantastic show. By the way, this is an awesome opportunity for you to just join in with us and invite your friends right now, because you're going to be able to live debt-free once you finish up with this program. And as we introduce an awesome guest a little bit later on in the program. But join with us. We're going to have an awesome calendar of events. We have some other things that we're going to discuss, and we're going to talk about that and a lot more
And
just as soon
our
as we get back.
gingerbread contest winners.
That's right.
And who is going to win this tonight?
That's right. Tonight.
Hot cocoa bombs.
Hot cocoa bombs. Just as soon as we get back, we'll talk about that more. All right. So do you like my Santa mask?
You can't see your lips move.
You can't see my lips move.
No.
That might be a good thing. That might be a real good thing not to see my lips move. I'm going to take my Santa mask off, just FYI. But hey, if you're looking for a pretty cool product, there's the Santa mask right there. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to get rid of that, and but I'm going to keep the hat though. How about that? So I'm going to keep the hat on, and but then we're going to have a fantastic show tonight. We have a great lineup. So we've taken a couple of things out of our lineup tonight just to be able to have plenty of room available for an awesome guest that we have, Nancy Hornback. She is the guru when it comes to living debt-free. If you want to find out more about living debt-free, if you want to achieve financial freedom in your life, you have got to tune in tonight. Stick with the entire program tonight, and you're going to be able to write and get your pen, get your pad of paper, get your iPad out, because tonight is the time for you to get started with living debt-free. And we're really excited to have her on board with us.
And we just want to say thank you to the many entries for the gingerbread contest. We are tickled pink by how beautiful some of them were. All of them were lovely, but they just were so creative. We loved all of them.
Exactly.
And I also want to say a quick thank you to so many who've donated to our charity drive for the Cecil County foster care, the pajama drive, and the backpacks. We are overflowing our basket at the office. We thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to make that purchase and to drop them off to us. So thank you again.
Yeah, our front foyer of our office is packed with pajamas, and we're really thrilled to have that. So if you want to follow us on social media, please do so. We're on Instagram, Maryland Homes Team. We're on Facebook. We're streaming live right now through Facebook. That's streaming out to Twitter. We have a Pinterest account, of course. We're streaming on YouTube. We have a TikTok account, and we are streaming live now new to LinkedIn. So we appreciate everyone who's tuning in on LinkedIn as well. If you would like to, please support us on our merchandise store. Just go to MarylandHomesTeam.com, and you'll be able to find us. All of our T-shirts and cups and mugs and all kinds of stuff there. There's all types of slogans and things like that you're going to find. And there's a lot of fun stuff on there as well. And we really appreciate the support there. We don't make a dime off of this. All of the money that we raise from these items goes directly to charity. And we really do appreciate that a lot. So thank you very much. And welcome on board, Ashley Johnson, by the way. Thank you very much for joining in. So, with that said, by the way, we have an awesome guest tonight. Our special guest is Nancy Hornback. We're going to get to her in just a few moments. She's, again, the money coach with Live Free. So, again, tell your friends right now, join in. It's a live question and answer program tonight. So, if you have any questions for Nancy throughout the program, please feel free to type them in the comment section below. Type them in. We'll be sure to try and squeeze in as many questions as possible. And we're going to be monitoring, by the way, after our live program. Any further questions you may have, just go ahead and ask them in the comment section below, and we will monitor and try and answer as many of those as possible. So let's get right into our program here. The Pajama Drive, again, like Maria said, is not over right now. So Maryland Homes team is continuing our Pajama Drive until December 17th. Is that correct? Until December 17th?
I think we had to make that a day earlier, the 16th. I think they have to have everything by the 17th, if I'm correct.
Okay, good. Yep, so bring new pajamas with tags to our drop-off box to donate to our collection of, and that's at our office at 2103
Yes.
Bel Air Road. We really appreciate that. That would be great. And also our gingerbread winner, which, by the way, we had our grandson, and I want to show this off because this is our grandson that actually stopped by today. Luca and Emery both stopped by. I don't have Emery's because he took his.
This is Emery's.
Oh, this is Emery's.
This
okay.
is Emery's.
So Emery made a gingerbread house.
So he's only 2, so he did a really good job.
He did a great job. Isn't that cute? But listen, we had a gingerbread contest, as many of you knew, and you were able to. What we required was for you to make a gingerbread house. And to take a picture of it, to tag your friend, to tag us in it as well. Take a picture of you making the gingerbread house and all sending that picture to us. We really appreciate everyone who did. We had several entries, and it was wonderful judging them. We really had a good time judging them.
Well, it was really hard to I don't even know if judge is the right word.
Exactly.
We just were looking at creativity
Yes.
and just how adorable everything was. And we know, we were trying to encourage families to take some time and do something with each other.
Yes.
We can get so wrapped up in being busy right now, and we feel that as well. So we were so glad that some people shared their pictures with us. Anyway, did you want to announce it now, Rob, or you want to announce it later?
Let's announce it now. And I just want to say we had a late entry that came in today that I was really impressed with as well. And It was a stadium. It was actually a stadium. So
Kristen Bard, your kids did a great job.
We really appreciate that. So it's technically a house, so I really appreciate that. So that was really cool. But we had picked out a winner, and these were the couple of kids right here that were making the gingerbread house.
Yes.
And let me get a close-up of the actual gingerbread house, which is really cool. Take a look at that. These are actually 3 townhouses, 3 townhomes. And is that the cutest thing? I'm telling you, they did a really, really cool job on that. They are the winners of the Amazon gift card.
Yep, Katie Ryan is their mom, and she sent that in on behalf of her girls.
Yep, she did a great job, and we really appreciate that. And how much was the gift card for?
$100 to Amazon.
It was a $100 gift card.
I don't have it here, but we have it, I promise.
That's right. Yeah, we really appreciate that.
So if you want to swing by tomorrow and pick it up at our office, or if you want to swing by my house, or I can meet you somewhere, you just let me know.
Yep, that was fantastic. So we really appreciate that, Katie. We appreciate everyone who joined in and
girls did a
worked
phenomenal
hard
job.
on their gingerbread houses. You did a fantastic job. So
yes,
that was fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yep. Let's jump into our calendar of events. Once we go into our calendar of events, we're going to jump right into our interview. So please, again, tag into your friends, get them on board here because you're not going to want to miss this program. We'll be right back.
Do I have a great house for you guys? Flip job. Oh, no, yeah, the next door neighbors are lovely. Frat house. It's got tons of personality, haunted. And I will be with you guys every step of the way, West Palm.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Home.
All right, congratulations.
I love that.
Yep, that is so great. What a great transition right into an awesome interview that we're going to have. I'd like to welcome everybody to on board and welcome in Nancy Hornback. It was such an honor and pleasure to have you come on board with us to tonight's show out of your busy schedule. You decided just to kind of put together a little bit of time here with us, and I really do appreciate it. Nancy, if you could just give us a little bit of your background, I would greatly appreciate it, just to introduce yourself to our audience.
Sure. First of all, thank you all for having me. It's an absolute pleasure and honor. And I had to wear a sparkly little sweater because Maria, I noticed, was all sparkly herself. And I'm like, I need to at least show up good.
Well, thank you.
Yes. So a little bit about my background. And I could go on for days and days, but I don't think we really have all that much time. So my background is, I've been a singer for a very long time. Professionally, I sang for Disney. I sang on cruise ships. I did off Broadway, all kinds of different things. And then most recently, I've been a QVC host. I was there for almost 12 years. And then I've now transitioned into becoming a money coach. Now, let me explain that really quickly. You might think, wait a second, why are you going from a host trying to sell you stuff to someone who's saying, wait a minute, hold please. I want you to know I've been doing this a very long time. This is something that has always been near and dear to my heart. More than, 18 years ago, I did my very first budget for the very first time. But even prior to that, being an entertainer and wanting to do that, I had to be really smart with my money, and I could not live above my means, or I would not be able to be a singer and actress and do what I love to do more than anything. So I've been living this for a very, very long time, helping other people get out of debt, get a budget moving, and getting them in the right place. And just now I just get to do this, and I love, love, love this. So that's
So
my background.
rewarding. I bet it's so rewarding.
Yeah.
Wow. That's fantastic, and I think you're being very humble as well with our audience, because a little birdie told me, and I don't know if you just mentioned that or not, but
She did.
were you a QVC host?
Mm-hmm.
You did mention
Yep,
that.
I did.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh! Okay,
Yeah,
sorry about
She
that.
did, Rob.
Well, it's just such a lengthy resume. I'm sorry.
It is kind of a lengthy resume, but I've been so blessed to have the kind of career that I have. And I just, with all the time that I've had in front of, millions of people, I really want to take this to that same audience to say, listen, I want you to be able to buy all the shoes that you want and buy the jewelry that you want and have a slush money fund to go for guys if they want to go golfing or fishing, and nobody can tell them what to do with it. So I am passionate about getting people, because, Rachel Cruz, Dave Ramsey's daughter, says, budgeting is actually a permission to spend. So that's
That's
the
a good
cool
way to
part.
look at it.
It is. And there's a freedom, though, that comes with not having to worry about living paycheck to paycheck. And so many people think that if you make a lot of money, like if you're a millionaire, a multi-million dollar mayor, you don't have to have a budget. Can I just say that, well, hello, there are so many millionaires that live paycheck to paycheck.
That's right.
And that if they don't make their $1 million that year, they're broke and they're going bankrupt. Like, what are you doing? So,
That's right.
and it's the same thing with people, and people who don't make a lot of money who budget actually can end up millionaires when they retire. So it can be, there's a whole lot of things going on up in there. And so I'm really passionate about people living free, thus live free. I want them to live free with our lives, and money is such a huge part of that. And you can really change your relationship with your spouse, or with who you're with. It changes, and your children, and what job you get to keep, and the home. If you want to buy a home, like, you don't buy it so you're dirt poor, right?
Yeah,
You do it smart.
absolutely.
Nancy, I think you answered my question, and that is, why budget? Why do we have to come up with a budget? And I think you did a great job answering that question. But I guess my next question would be, is budgeting a punishment? Or are we actually, should we look at it like, are we punishing ourselves? Or how can we look at it in a positive aspect when we're actually putting together a budget for ourselves and for our family?
It's so funny you asked me that, because it's so many people think, I don't want to budget. It's too hard. I'm freaked out by it. And if I do, you're just making me do this because I can't manage my money. You don't think I can manage my money very well. It's so the opposite, because when you're not budgeting, and matter of fact, I just had a client today that I was working with, and they were telling me that every time they try to budget, they all of a sudden think, okay, well, I don't know where that happened in that emergency fund that I had. I don't know. I can't remember what happened to it. And so there's confusion in there. And so what's happening actually is that we're being led by our money versus us telling our money where to go. And that's really important, because if we're not telling our money where to go, then really we are being led by money.
Yeah.
And the truth is, money can't breathe, and we can't take it with us. So, so if you really get in right perspective, Dave Ramsey talks about how money and management is all 80% behavior, 20% numbers. Think about that. And so if we can change our behavior around money, and we can see it as a positive thing to say, I want to budget because I want to know where the heck my hard-earned money is going.
That's right.
And I want to do right by my family, and I want to do right by what I'm doing now. And I don't have to make excuses for something that, like I can't go with the Joneses, right? I can't have the best of everything right now because it's just not in my budget. I used to say that actually on QVC, because I'm a jewelry expert in jewelry. I'm a graduate gemologist. And one of the things I would constantly say, because in the jewelry world, can be very, very expensive. And so what I would typically say would be, listen, if this is not in your budget, come window shop. There's no shame in window shopping, because I want you to get to where your goals want you to go. Like, that's super important to me, because think about how much peace you'll have with that, how much freedom that is when you are working in a job that you are totally miserable in. If you have an emergency fund set aside, you get to stay. I don't want to stay there anymore. If you have a budget set aside for a home, you get to say, I'm going to buy that house now. I found the house of my dream. Right. So this is what I want for you. I don't want you in a cage. I don't want you feeling like all bound up by a budget. It does. I think truly in the beginning, it feels that way. But I tell you, my husband is really funny, because I put my husband on a budget when we first got married, and that was not easy for him. No. He wanted to buy. He loves to. He's a spender. Oh, you guys.
Oh my gosh. We don't argue about money. What we argue about is, like, tell me what you're going to spend it on. Like, just communicating. I am very, very tight, strict about budgeting. And he's like, well, if I work this hard, I can spend it all. I said, that's not the point. So you tell us why that's not the point.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you guys have a line item in your budget for a fund money account for Robert and a fund money account for Maria? And if you don't, you should put there. And that's how you get by this one. Jim has one and I have one. And so whatever we have in our fund money account, that is ours to spend as we wish. So Jim used to have to come to me and say, Nancy, can I go buy a guitar? And I said, do you have the money in your fund money? And he went to look and he said, I do not. I said, well, then no, because that's what you got. And then when he started getting really comfortable with this whole budgeting and telling our money where to go, he started to get it, because then he would come to me and he said, can I go buy a guitar? And I said, go look at your fund money. Go look at it. He said, woohoo, I get to go buy my guitar. So, and then now he knows, like, it's just, it's not about, he doesn't need to ask my permission ever
Right.
in that.
Yeah.
Because if it's his, it's his. But if it's a family purchase, that's different. Like if it's
Sure.
something that the two of you are looking for together, that's a major purchase. And now we got to get together on that one.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so important, you know, and I really appreciate that. And I know in our early days when we first got married, we were trying to budget for a home, and we literally had to scrape together dollars and borrowing money and things of that nature. And it's kind of actually funny because my wife absolutely loved buying a certain line of jewelry on QVC. Now I'm talking about, this was back in the mid 90s. Okay. And I remember I remember seeing these packages coming in, but I'm a very giving person. So I really loved the fact that she was getting something for herself. And I really enjoyed watching this.
Well, it'd be better if you'd bought it.
But
'cause that would be giving,
exactly.
right?
But at the same time,
Hello.
Exactly. But at the same time, we never had anyone to share with us, hey, you needed a fund money account, and when you can afford it, you go and buy that piece of jewelry or that drill or that guitar or, you know, whatever that you're looking for. You know, we never had that kind of discipline early on. So, for couples to be able to, or even single folks to be able to have this type of information in front of them and to be able to utilize it for themselves to create a budget is just huge. And with folks that are in our business as real estate agents, real estate professionals, we have to give this information or provide this type of information for our clients who are trying to budget to buy a home. So my question, I guess a big question to you would be, how do you budget for a home? Explain to our buyers in simplistic terms, how would you budget for a home?
Well, I mean, the Ramsey, I'm a preferred Ramsey financial coach. And so what he has are they're called the 7 baby steps. And so the first one is to get $1,000 in an emergency fund. That's the most important thing. And you have, by the way, as I do this, you cannot, Dave likes to call it Dave-ish. You can't do Dave-ish. You have to do this absolutely in order at this, and I'll explain that. So you must have your $1,000. Don't try to pay off debt yet. $1,000 in that emergency fund is really important, because if you have that there, when a tire blows, you're not going to have to put that on a credit card and go into debt and not pay that off. You get to go in your emergency fund and pay for that tire. Now, what's going to happen is, before you can put more money towards debt, you got to refill that $1,000 emergency fund. Got to keep that always at 1,000. Next, you go into what we call a snowball and paying off all of your consumer debt. That means student loans as well. Everything except a mortgage. And at this point, if you're trying to buy a house, you don't even have a mortgage anyway. So we're okay with that. Once you get that, and you start with the lowest amount of debt that you have. So let's say you have a credit card that's $200, maybe one that's $12,000, maybe one that you have $50,000 on a student loan. You're going to start with the smallest one. And when you pay that off, you're going to take what you were paying on that lower one. You're going to wrap it in to get to the next one, and so forth until all of your consumer debt is gone. Once that's gone, then you have to work toward a 3 to 6 months emergency fund that's fully funded. Now, remember, you already have your $1,000 set aside. We're going to continue to add to that until you have 3 to 6 months. Once you're there, now you're ready to start saving for your home. And then for the last baby steps are going to be, you're going to put 15% towards your retirement fund. That's really important to do, because you want to make sure you're taking care of yourself. So now you don't have any more debt payments that you're paying off, right? So all that money you were paying on debts, you've got to put it in your emergency fund. Now you're going to use this to 15% goes into retirement account, preferably a Roth IRA of some kind, or a matching fund if you have with your 401k with your employer. And then the next thing you're going to do is, because you don't have a home, for those of you who don't own the home, you're going to take the next portion of that money and you're going to put that toward a mortgage. So you're going to put that in a savings account. I would actually put it in a money market account, or something that's going to grow a little bit more. The next thing you're going to do, and all these are done in order, but at the same time, the next thing you're going to do is, if you have a house, actually you're going to do college fund. I'm sorry, college fund is next if you have kids. Next, you're going to put it towards your mortgage, and then finally you're going to give like crazy. So while these are the baby steps, you got to do those in order. But when you're ready to buy, this is really important. While you're waiting to buy, get into the cheapest rent you can possibly get into. If you have a parent that will take you in, if you have another couple that you say, let's rent this house or rent this apartment together, that we can save a lot of money together, that we're going to sock away cash. Because remember, this is not where you're going to stay. You're there just to get all your debt paid off, to get your emergency fund and get that 20% that you want to have down for your house. You always want to make sure you do have that. I'm kind of keep going. I apologize. You want me to stop right there, Robert?
No. Keep going. This is a great information.
Okay. So the thing is, you want to make sure you have 20%. Please do not be putting 10% down. Don't be putting 15% down. Make sure that you know exactly how much you want to spend on a house and have 20% down, because there is that PMI, that mortgage insurance that you're going to have to pay on. That's money that you're not going to see. And I don't want you to have to give that to the insurance companies for that. I want you to keep your hard-earned money. That's the whole point, because this is about winning with money. And when you do find the home of your dreams that Robert and Marie are going to help you find, once you're in that, I want you to make sure that your house payment, though, is not going to be more than 25% of your take-home pay. That's really important. Don't get in house poor. You don't want to do that. Even if you're thinking, okay, on my first home, I'm going to make sure I'm living below my means. I will share a story let me finish this thought, and then I'll share a story with you about living below your means in a second. So 25% of your take-home pay, no more than that. And then I really want you to make sure that you're doing a 15-year fixed mortgage, because I want you to pay that off fast. Because remember, when we get into the baby steps where you're now paying off your home early, that baby step 6, you're going to knock that. You could possibly be out of a mortgage within even 10 years or 8 years. Think about that. Totally debt-free. You are like able to do whatever the heck you want with your money. And maybe that's to upgrade in your home one day. Maybe that's to save even more for retirement. Maybe that's just to put that towards a family vacation. Whatever that looks like for you, you get to tell that money where to go, and it's not stressing you out now.
Yeah, that's great information. That really is. I know you've already touched on a couple of these areas, but I just kind of wanted to go over some of the specifics of budgeting, some of the Dave Ramsey approved budgeting areas. I know some of this you've already touched on, but let's, if you can, just quickly go down this list, and please take your time on any one of these that you feel is necessary, just for our audience sake.
Sure. Eliminating all debt is so important, because the reason that is so important is that we all know life happens. It does. Someone in the family can get sick. Someone loses their job. The company goes belly up. There's all kinds of things that the stock market could go crazy. I mean, there's all kinds of things that could happen. And when you have zero debt, you're in you're in a way better place, because now life is not as crazy. And you're like, okay, I don't have any debt. At least nobody can come after me and take my car. No one can come after and take that television that I haven't paid for yet. No one can come and get this or this or this. Now, remember, when you're paying, especially credit card debt or debt that has pretty high interest rates, that interest rate is not going in your pocket. You don't get to keep that. That's going to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I really want you to get out of debt, because all that interest money is money that could actually be working for you. I'd rather you be gaining interest on that money rather than you being paying that out.
Right.
That's really important.
Absolutely.
And when you do eliminate that debt anyway, now when you buy a home, you're much freer to go, okay, I don't have to worry about that extra debt. I get to just be in this beautiful home and not worrying about how I'm going to make the payment. Right?
Yeah, that's right, Nancy. Real quick, just want to let all of our viewers know that if you're watching right now live, please feel free to comment below right now. Comment below any questions that you have for Nancy. She's with us for a few more minutes, and I just want you to have an opportunity for her to respond to your questions. Just comment them below. We'll throw them up on the screen. But Nancy, please go ahead.
I actually wanted to really quickly. All this is really important. Obviously, 20% down to avoid that PMI. you don't PMIs, you don't want to pay that extra amount. Please don't do that. Just
Right.
wait, be patient, wait, because getting through those first 3 baby steps is a hard thing to do. Sometimes it takes about 18 months, but if you can go with what Dave calls the gazelle-like intensity, most people can get through it, through their debt and through their emergency fund within about 18 to 24 months. And you're ready then to start saving for that 20% down for your home and for, of course, those closing costs. That's really important.
Right.
I did mention the 15-year mortgage. Please
Yeah.
make sure you do that with a fixed amount. Do not go to an ARM at all, ever. Definitely find a killer agent, somebody who's going to work on your behalf. Like Robert or Maria, that they are going to make sure that they are looking for everything. Like, wait a second, I don't think that house is right for you. It's got too many things that could go wrong. And do you have a savings in order to, do this fixer upper? Like, if you're going to do some
Right.
fixer upper house,
That's
make
right.
sure you've got a savings ahead, knowing that is going to be there. Please don't take an extra. Don't refinance your home or get a second mortgage on it. Don't do that to fix up your house.
Right.
We don't want to do
Right.
that. And then let's see, and definitely get your home inspected. That's an absolute must. Your killer agent will tell you that anyway.
Absolutely.
And don't fear renting. So, definitely don't fear renting a little bit longer. This is my story I was going to tell you. So I remember when I was building my very first home, I was in Florida. I was working for Disney at the time, singing for Disney, and I'd been renting, and I had
Sorry.
thank you.
We just came back. It's my studio audience. They came back from break. I appreciate
love
that,
it.
guys. Exactly.
That's fantastic. So when I was singing at Disney, and I wasn't making a lot of money, but I loved what I was doing, and I was in an one-bedroom apartment. And I remember I was there a year, and it's always really smart. If you've just moved to an area, please do not buy your first year. Go rent for a full year so you understand what the community is like around you, to know where you want to live and buy. So I was in Orlando for a year, and then I made a decision to say, okay, I'm ready to buy because I feel like I'm going to be here a while. And so I had a budget in mind, and I knew what I could afford. I knew that this is the interest rate that I wanted, all of that. And I found this amazing house, and it was just a little bit out of my budget. It wasn't much. It was just a little bit out. But guess what? It knocked me into a different interest rate. I was going to have my parents maybe help me out a little bit. If I lost my job at Disney, then I wouldn't be able to really afford that house anymore. And so I really had to pray about it a whole lot. And I finally made a decision. As much as I love this house, I can't do it. It's out of my budget. And so I had to sit back and I had to be patient. And then not much later, about 6 weeks later, I found this neighborhood that was going up, and I got to build my own home that was about $40,000 less than that home that I was looking at. And it was the perfect house. And when I moved in, you guys, everything within my mortgage payment, with my taxes and my insurance and everything that goes into that, I was paying less than what I was paying for my rent.
And we see that all the time.
We do.
And we just are thrilled, even our own children, to watch them pay less for ownership than they did for making another man rich, paying someone else's mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the truth. It is so true.
So Nancy, I have to share this with you. And this is the beauty of having a live show. So we're in our studio here, and while you're saying all of this,
I didn't mean to be distracted.
We are trying to not get distracted because behind us, the doorbell rings. We have a whole large group of children that are singing, "We wish you a Merry Christmas."
Carolers.
They're carolers going through the neighborhood.
To the business.
And it's all behind us. We're trying not to be distracted. So that's the
gosh.
joy of having a live, we have an
my
in-studio in our home. And this is, so anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. But yes, I do agree with you. Yeah.
So it's really funny because this kind of stuff happened all the time at QVC.
Right.
Something would be going on, and somebody would walk in front of a camera, or something falls back over here, and somebody trips down over there.
We are
totally get it. It's
definitely
live.
for real.
That is so funny. That is so
Yes.
funny. So so I take it at this point, whenever we talk to our first time home buyers, even our secondary home buyers, we always have that conversation, or we always mention to them something about it. Always pops up in our conversation the name Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey always pops up, because we always talk about budgeting for a home. What does your budget look like? How much can you afford? How much can you put down? Do you have budgeted in for repairs, future repairs, things of that nature? So I guess my question to you would be, we already know that you are a preferred Ramsey financial coach. We already know that. I think it's great information. And what I want to find out is, why work with a financial coach? That would be the question that I think some of our viewers would have.
Well, the reason why you want to work with a financial coach is because a lot of people just aren't good money managers. They think immediately when they're making money, they go to a financial advisor right away. Even though they have debt, even though they don't have an emergency fund set up, they want to start putting all their money towards retirement and getting that working for them. So, all of that. However, they've missed the important steps, which is let's get you out of debt. Let's get an emergency fund in place so that you can start to save for that retirement, because you're going to have so much more money to do savings and doing other types of investments like a home, because a home is an investment, right? It's not
Dave
just a
says it's the
nothing.
best
It's
one.
worth something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, because when, so it's so important. And as I mentioned earlier, that money is 80% behavior, 20% numbers. And if you can't see that you have a problem with, ooh, I like that, I think I'll buy it right now. Oh, it's fine. We'll just, we'll figure it out later kind of stuff, or wanting to keep up with the Joneses, or just wanting a bigger house because, well, why not? Or we need a brand new car. We need to have the best of everything. Or, or even something really small, like, oh, I really just need to treat myself. No, you got to, that's why a coach is really good to come alongside of you to say, let me see what you can't see for yourself. And because I want to give you hope that there is hope past that. And it's getting down to some of those root causes and also thinking, is this really a want or is this a need? And helping you identify some of that. Because not only do I talk about the debt part of things, but we talk even more about the insurance. Do you have enough insurance? Like, where's your insurance? Are you too heavy in insurance? You're about to go bankrupt. Let's talk about that before you do that, because bankruptcy costs a lot of money. People don't realize that. And there are so many different pieces of what a financial person does. So, a lot of times when I talk to financial advisors that I am, that I'm connected with, and that refer people to me, is because they have so many people that come to them that are so in debt that, like I said, they're just a paycheck away. Even millionaires, millionaires are away from bankruptcy. What does that do to your whole life? Now you are completely drained of everything that you have. It's just hard to bring yourself up. Ramsey went belly up twice, and it's the reason he decided to come and do this and to make a difference in the world and difference in people's lives.
Right.
And that's my goal as well, is to help people get to that. And that's why we're like, a financial coach is really not out there that much. And like, well, I can do my own managing of my money. Well, do you have a budget?
Right.
Do you have a budget, a solid budget that you're following? Do you have $1,000? It's asking some of these really kind of drill down questions, and it's piece by piece. So it's not everything at once, because people get really overwhelmed with like the whole big picture. We want to make sure. And so that's my job too, is just taking you along little bits at a time to help you in the journey. Whether you're just out of, med school, or you're out of college and you're starting your first thing. Another thing, kind of on a little bit of a tangent, my also heart is for the young generation of middle schoolers and high schoolers, to teach them how to understand this now, so that they will win with money immediately. I had a young girl, this is no joke, client of mine, and She is first year job, first time at a job. She makes around $26,000. She's in debt. She doesn't have any of this stuff. This is her first time going along. We were able to find in her budget, and also tell, kind of zhuzhing it a little bit with what can you make? Can you make a little bit more money on Saturdays to bring into the house to see what we can do to get rid of the debt faster, to get an emergency fund faster. And with the tweaks that we made in her budget, we found her, she was negative $200 every month. We found her an extra $500. So now she's in the black, 300. Now, if you can imagine, in 18 months, she's going to be out of debt, have her full emergency fund funded, and not changing anything in her job. So this doesn't account for her getting a higher paycheck, but
Right.
living exactly the way she is and working on a Saturday to bring in some extra money. By the time she retires, doing exactly what she's doing, she will be a multi-million-dollar gal. Retiring with that kind of money, making only $26,000 a year, but living exactly the way she's living right now. But how incredible is that?
That's really incredible.
It is.
And all from receiving information from a financial coach, from a money coach. And I think that's I think there's so many parents out there that feel so inadequate to be able to share that type of information with their kids, because we were never taught that.
I
Like my
wasn't.
father never taught me
Mine
money.
either.
I first learned how to look at my checkbook register in high school, in a general math class. I didn't know how to.
And they don't
work
even
that.
teach that in school.
And they don't even
anymore,
teach that anymore in
don't.
school.
which is so sad.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many young couples we have come and we need an earnest money deposit check as they are, making an offer on a property, and they're like, wait, I don't have a checking account. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, we need to, they have to go to the bank and actually get a written check, from the bank, and or bank check. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so, and, so I have a quick question, kind of steering directions here. Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
having technical difficulty here. If you have like a 17, 18, 19-year-old and they want to be smart with their money, they have a savings, what book would you recommend for them to read at that young of an age? Or do you talk to people that young? Like, I'm sure there's a cost to your advice or your leadership.
There is, but the way that I price my services is totally based around the need. Like I do a consultation first, and then if we want to feel like we want to go forward with that, then I do what's called a income and expense review, and we do also a little bit deeper dive of finding out what are they looking for, what are they looking towards.
Right.
And I know you're asking about a 17-year-old, so that's a whole different conversation too, because that's not a big deal. That's not something that's super expensive.
Right.
And I'm actually getting ready to start. I will be starting in the new year virtual classes for the middle school, as well as for high school kids who want to join in on a virtual class, like a kind of like a Financial Peace University which is what I facilitate through Ramsey. And that teaches the 7 baby steps. And it's actually an 8-week course, and it's really a 9-week course. It's really fantastic, by the way. I will do those on Tuesday at 10 a.m. and then Eastern time. And then I do one on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And I'll start up new ones in January. But the ones I will be doing ones for middle school as well as for high schoolers. And I'll do the same thing about 8 weeks, but tailored to them. And that will be just a nominal fee to come in and do that. But it's so important, because once they see that, it changes the game for them. Because if they say there's what's called an opportunity cost, which I would also teach them too, is that they say they get a check from their grandma for their birthday or Christmas, and it happens to be $100. Let's say they want to take that. What are they going to do with $100? They're going to go out and buy some red tennis shoes with it? like some fancy red tennis shoes with it.
That might
Or
not
if
be
you think
enough
about,
for red tennis shoes.
but that's very true. They're right, 150 at
Oh,
this
my
point. Okay,
lids.
so whatever. I don't, maybe 200. But my point being that they're going to go want to spend. You got to think about the opportunity cost. I
Right.
can have these awesome tennis shoes right now, or I could take 10% of this or 15% of this, and I can put this into a fund and in a either money market. I actually recommend to get as soon as possible a Roth IRA
Right.
and start. And you can get one through like a Fidelity or somebody that doesn't have a starting. All of a sudden, I can't think of the word.
A minimum.
Minimum. Thank you, minimum.
Yes.
And start with that
Right.
because you see now that's going to grow tax free.
Right.
So now I've got an extra, I got 80. Okay, so I've still have $85. Now, what if I want to take some of that and give that and put that into the community, right? I would actually say take 10% off the $100 and do $10 and give it to the pajama drive or do something
Right.
really good to help other
Right.
people. Then take 15% still, $15, put that away, and then now you've got the extra money. Because
Right.
that opportunity cost is, do I want to save for my future and have a really amazing nest egg?
Right.
Or do I just want to spend it now and live in the moment?
Yeah.
Because a lot of us just want to live in the moment.
That's right.
And we maybe me, at the young age, created 3 envelopes for our kids and stapled them together. There's save, give, and then there's spend. And, we wanted to teach them that. And so our daughter just actually met with a financial advisor 2 weeks ago. But like you said, they have a minimum for that Roth IRA, and then of course they're gonna, she's gonna have to pay a fee for them to management, and I said to her, Chloe, you shouldn't have a minimum, like you should be able to start investing your money right away,
Yep.
So back to the Roth or IRA, I don't know why I can't say that.
It's okay.
You were saying that should be the first thing you invest in. Would that be no matter what age you are, 17, 30, 40?
I do think so. Because the Roth IRA, there are stipulations to some, obviously I'm not a financial advisor. I want to make sure we know that I'm not a financial advisor. However,
Right.
with the Roth IRAs, you put that in tax free.
Right.
So, and then it bumps out when you get it. You don't pay any tax on it when you take it out
Right.
after you retire, right? When you retire. However, if you are working at a position that has a 401k, then because it has base to do with your income bracket, whether you can put in something into a Roth IRA or not. You can't make over a certain amount. So it really just depend upon each situation. But if you're
Right.
a child, so just to give you an example, I just recently opened up a Roth IRA for my daughter who's 12, and we're opening up a Roth IRA for a 1-year-old that is a dear friend of ours. They just had a baby, and so rather than giving them toys,
Right.
I'm taking that money and I'm going to ask them to put that into the Roth IRA for them for the birthdays and the Christmases, so that that money can start to grow over time. And this little boy is
Wow.
1 year old.
What a great idea.
So I can see actually being able to implement your money coaching ideas for our clients rather,
Sure.
because our clients are really, probably for our buyers, I would say a good 30, 40, maybe even 50% of them really need, once they speak to one of our preferred lenders, they find out that they're probably not truly prepared financially to be able to make that good offer for that property. So, to be able to align themselves with you as a money coach, let's say, they would be able to get the advice necessary to be able to get themselves into the right kind of budget that they need to maybe change the trajectory of their finances so they can make the right kind of offer probably 6 months later down the road. So I had a chance to go to your website, which is great. And there's several different options that people have that they can look at that I think that would fit really well with our clients. And, that's why I was really excited to be able to have you come on board. So let me ask you something, Nancy. So what is what's the best way to get in contact with you? It was easy to be able to find you on LinkedIn. It was easy to be able to find you on Facebook, and of course your website, livefreemoneycoach.com. What's the easiest way for folks to be able to contact you?
I think there's also, you can send me an email too at nancy@livefreemoneycoach.com. That's a great way to go. Definitely with any one of my social sites. And that is just Nancy Hornback. And then, or you can go right to my Live Free Money Coaching site as well. And the thing is, just sign up for a discovery, which is about 15 minutes. It's not long. It's just for us to get to know each other and see if you really are, like, we're a good fit for each other, because there are a whole bunch of good Ramsey coaches out there, and I recommend a Ramsey preferred coach for sure. There's a lot out there, and you just want to be able to have someone that you feel like you can really work with and that you trust, and that they kind of get you and are listening to you. And so I think, and so if we do that and we can find out, because not everybody's ready for coaching either. You have to be. I'm gonna put this out there really, just like as blunt as I possibly can. This is not for the faint of heart.
Correct.
Getting your money in order takes sacrifice, and it takes dedication. And so I guess my biggest thing I would say for all, discipline for sure, is for all of you who are really wanting to buy that home and really wanting to win with your money. Get your why. Do you want to do that so strong that you're willing to do what it takes to get your finances in order? Because if you don't have a strong why, you're going to wander off and you're going to start to do exactly what you did before, hoping that everything is going to be just fine, but it just doesn't work that way. So it's hard work, but you can do it. If you're ready to do it, you can do it.
Well, Nancy, I appreciate you coming on board with us. And listen, at the end of our program today, please continue putting the comments in the comment section if you have any questions. We're going to continue monitoring them and answering those questions for you. And also, we're going to provide all of those links within the description of the video, so you can easily contact Nancy Hornback if you would like her to be your money coach. And we're going to continue providing that information to our clients, and hopefully other real estate agents who are watching this program. We have many that do. Hopefully they're going to recommend your services as well. So, Nancy, I really appreciate you coming on board with us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's meeting you.
Same. And one final word
Please.
is that I did not answer your question about the book. And I don't have a good book yet. And I'm going to go find that, and I'm going to put that on. I'm going to let you know so you can put it on this chat.
Thank you. And maybe you should write one.
That's right.
We'll
I
have
think
to buy
should,
your book.
Yeah, exactly. I think you should just write one. Exactly. Yeah. I think that'd be fantastic.
Because, and I know that I don't want to beat a dead horse. Like we were just saying, we were trying to wrap up. I just can't tell you how many times I see these kids driving these, who I didn't know is a $50,000, $60,000 truck at 19, 18. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, that's a down payment for a house. You know, like, and this just depreciated it the minute you drove it off the lot, you know? So I just think, you know, we love to help people. We're all about that. And we know that you have the same heart. Yep,
exactly. So again, thank you very much, Nancy Hornback.
Yes.
She is the money guru. And I just want to thank you again for having your time, setting your time aside for coming on board with us. Thank you so much.
Great info.
We really appreciate that. Yes, great info.
My
so
pleasure.
we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So that was wonderful.
Oh, it really was.
What a wonderful time we had with her.
You know me, I love to talk about money. Money's my gig.
Exactly. Yes. So Ashley Johnson came back in. She said, thank you very much. Ashley, thank you so much for joining our show tonight. We have a program every Wednesday night. We're going to take off the remaining of the year, however, until after the Christmas holidays. And then we're going to jump back in strong and hard, by the way.
Shake and pull the winner
and this is
tonight,
for what?
Because I know we're already over our time.
The Cocoa Bombs.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Now take
So
a look
let
at
me
this real quick before she draws that.
Let me mix the names.
Look at those Cocoa Bombs.
Oh my
nice
goodness. All righty.
Yum,
Ashley
yum.
Johnson, congratulations.
Yep. Anyone who joined into the show, you were drawn in for that. So, Ashley, I hope you live nearby. If not, let me tell you, this is worth the trip. So
it is worth a trip.
Yep, absolutely.
So congratulations,
congratulations.
Ashley.
Yeah, we'll reach out.
Why don't you message me, or I can DM you as soon as we are done. And I'll let you know if you want to meet us at our office tomorrow, 2103 Belair Road. You just let us know. We'll make arrangements for sure. Congratulations.
Yep.
And
Congratulations.
yay, she's local. That's awesome.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
we really do want to thank all the families that did submit for the Gingerbread House contest, and they really were adorable. And we do want to congratulate Katie Ryan on winning that contest, her girls Brindley and Lily, and we had so many other sweet, sweet kids do amazing creative things. So we
Exactly.
hope you all have a Merry Christmas. I think Hanukkah's wrapping up, and
gonna-
a Happy New Year.
And we're going to jump right into our marketing stats. We'll be right back. All right. Thank you very much again for joining with us. We're going to start back
Yes.
strong back in January. So have a great Christmas holiday, and we look forward to seeing you next time. And again, Maria, we are always better.
Together.
Always better together. And remember, if you're looking to buy or sell real estate in the Baltimore metro area, we service 9 areas, 9 different counties within the Baltimore metro area. And it always matters who you work with. So remember, contact the real estate professionals that are willing to work hard for you. Remax Components, Maryland Homes team. So we'll see you next time. Take care.
Thank you for joining.
All right, my hat. Well, that's nice that she's local. So nice. Okay, so now you're going to yell at me about one. Okay, that's awesome.